Mr. B, Mr. B, I want to start my own security company. Mr. B, I want to start my own security company. Well, that's good. That's great, right? I've helped and continue to assist others with their will to be an entrepreneur, right? I'll direct them in the right location. And in doing so, I have to be completely direct with these people. It's not as easy as just opening up and you're making millions and millions of dollars off the bat, because you won't. You will not. Not even for the first what do they say, 5 years or whatever like that will you be self-sufficient, unless you have a client that is already set up, ready to go. Once you become licensed, insured, and all that stuff, ready to go, then maybe if it's a big site such as a 336, right? 40 hours a week, unless you're charging a lot of money, it's nothing. Anything less than that, just enough to probably get an iced tea. Right? If you think of 50, whatever, 506, 508, whatever the hell it was, 503, 504, which we don't have any 504s. But at any rate, if you got a 504 right off the bat, you'll be doing all right, depending on how much you're charging and how much insurance you have. Now, since it is a labor-intensive field to get into as a business owner, what does labor-intensive mean? It means most of your proceeds will be payroll, taxes, and the biggest, insurance. I can't stand insurance companies. Now, I don't hate them personally. It's just a line of work. But I just hate it. I feel insurance is a big ripoff, an unregulated industry for the security field, right? They're making all these thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars off companies based on a what if. And what do they turn around and do? Once they get a sniff that you're making money, they want their part of it. Even though you had no claims, they want your money. They'll look at your social media, your websites, and they'll go, oh, that company looks like they're doing great. Let's hit them with a payroll audit to see how much money we can get out of them even further. It is total bullshit to sit up here and say you're going to audit a company for last year, knowing nothing happened last year, but your greedy ass fingers want to put its hands in its pot of the proceeds that company may or may not have made. To me, it's theft, right? Again, I don't hate these people. This is a line of work they're in. But you talk to our insurance people, they'll tell you, I give them hell. I give them hell. I give them hell, right? And I'm sorry for it, but it's the way I feel about insurance. If we didn't have to pay so much in insurance, we would be very well off. Just with taxes alone, right? Taxes is a lot too. But insurance is a large portion of it. You get into this line of work thinking you're going to make all this money as a legit security company. You're not. You are not in the beginning, buddy. Not in the beginning. Unless, like I said, you got a client that's ready to go. This is why there's so many unlicensed security companies running around our area too. There's so many. Not only that, there's some of them that are even bidding on proposals. The stones that they have to be illegitimate, but think that they can bid. And then worse of it is clients who actually take them on, award them, then realize they don't even have insurance. Or they produce a fake COI, certificate of insurance. Then they're screwed, right? We've been in a situation. We lost the, it's a public bid. We lost the bid to an illegitimate security company. 3 months went by. The client found out somehow, it wasn't me, that they were not legit, that they didn't have insurance. We come back. Well, they came back with a second chance offer. My response was no. No, we will not be the cleanup crew. No, you should have done your due diligence. Wasting our time for nothing, for nobody. You could have did a quick search of DOS website, quick search of workers' comp, A quick call to the insurance company. Can you verify a COI, but you didn't, right? Now, in the event that I should accept some second chance type of thing, I'm going to tell you right now, the price is going to be higher because you wasted my time the first go around. So anyway, not to get my pressure up, but let's focus on getting started. I'm not telling you all the steps to get started. I'm just telling you what to expect. Insurance isn't your friend. You pay all this money into it. Then when you need it, they're going to fight you over it. Not only that, when you sign these binders and these agreements, read them. Read them through and through. If you have to, run them through AI. Download the document, run it through ChatGPT. ChatGPT will tell you all the weaknesses, some of the hidden language, and most importantly, exclusions. Exclusions meaning what they will not cover. There's literally 2-3 pages that says what they're not responsible for should something goes wrong. Basically, they're responsible for nothing, and they're taking your money. It's absolutely ridiculous, right? You think you become a security company, you can go work at a bar? No, you can't. You think you become a security company, you can go work at a dispensary? Oh, no, you can't. So we're going to take all this money from you as the insurance company, but you basically can't do anything. Your hands are tied. And if we find out that you're doing something that's excluded, we're probably not going to renew your policy, or we're going to double your premium, and the stuff still won't be excluded. So how does it work? How does it work in the beginning when you first go get insurance? First, you have to find a company. And most insurance companies only deal with side brokers or whatever you want to call it. You have to find a company or a broker that's willing to start with you, right? And so there's an application process and a resume process as well in the beginning. You have to put down all your personal information, your experience, what you are anticipated to be taking on, right? And the biggest thing, this is where people screw up. Listen to me. This is where people screw up in the beginning. They will allow you to estimate how much you think you are going to make in the first year. Basically, they're allowing you to hang yourself, right? If you tell them, I'm going to make $100,000, I think I'm going to make $100,000 in the first year. Don't do that. Trust me, don't do that. I'm not saying undercut your potential estimated payroll, which is going to be based on, right? That's how the figures are made, on anticipated payroll. I'm not saying undercut, because you may have to owe them in the future if you make more than that. Do not give them big numbers unless you have that client ready to go. Because I'm telling you right now, if you tell them, I think I'm going to make $100,000 in the first year, they're going to quote you up to $100,000 in anticipated payroll. You're going to pay money, right? If now, opposed to, right, so a lot of them now won't want to deal with anyone who says, I'm going to be making less than 40, right, $40,000, because they know in the first year you're probably going to be making $0 or $10,000, right? So they're after the big money. That's what they want. Now, there's some small other, brokers outside of New York and things like that that'll take on lower limits and lower anticipated payrolls. And then there's some in New York State that are great. But here's the thing. Even the brokers, their hands are tied when it comes to dealing with the actual carrier. The vampires is what I call them. So again, do not overshoot your estimated payroll. Do not overshoot your estimated payroll. You will be sad at the end of the day, at the end of the year, because you're going to pay all this money in insurance to be a legitimate security company, and you're not going to have one contract. Keep your numbers low within reason. Keep your numbers very low of anticipated payroll within reason. Now, if you overshoot that, let your broker or the carrier know. that you're overshooting it and what you're anticipating it to be now. Because what's going to happen is if you told them that you're going to be making, you think you're going to be making 100,000 in that year, and for some reason you made 200,000, they're going to come after you for a certain percentage of 1,000. I can't remember if it's 1,000 or 100. I think it's for every $1,000 of payroll, you owe them anywhere, excuse me, between $50 and $100 or something like that, depending on your limits of your policy. And there's another thing. Oh, you got me started now. New York State says to be a legitimate security company, you need $100,000 in general liability and whatever, $300,000 in per occurrence or aggregate or something like that. These insurance companies, these brokers are no longer quoting that because they're not making that cheddar off of it. They're not making big money off of quoting small policies. You go anywhere now, they'll tell you, hey, look, and this may be true. They'll go, hey, look, the average the average claim or settlement is anywhere between $1 million and $3 million. We're going to quote you a $1 million policy. Better be prepared to pay up. That's not $200-$300 a month, buddy. No, it is not. It is a lot of money. So now you may be able to, like I said, find another company with lower limits that are willing to do that. But just understand, right? Limits are important. If a guard does something stupid, and it's also shared liability, which I'm not going to go down that road, but if a guard does something they're not supposed to do, it's shared liability between the company and the guard personally. Security guard absolutely does not have qualified immunity. No, you don't. Your ass could be sued personally along with your company. So remember that. So anyway, you want to have as most protection as possible within reason, without somebody overquoting you and things like that. So insurance is one of the worst overhead we have as security companies. Now, how do we adjust for this, right? We have to bill higher. We have to either ask our clients for raises or increases and things like that. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it never stops, right? If you're a company, you're doing well, you're building. Excuse me. The insurance companies come looking for you. Like I said earlier, they'll check your social media. They'll check your website, right? They might even call you and act like somebody who wants your services just to gauge how much you may be charging and making. I mean, it's a very slippery type of thing that they do, and I don't like it. And I let our people know, the insurance handlers, I don't like it. I don't like the industry. I tell them right to their face just like that, right? And they know, because this is the way I've been for a very long time, but it's the way I feel about insurance. If we didn't have to pay insurance or pay as much, we would be in a much better place for our expansion. But no, it's like every time we want to grow, somebody's got their hand in our pocket to take. And I'm starting to get sick of it. So I'm no longer going to sit back and be modest. I'm going to let you know how I feel. That is how I feel about insurance, right? Now, there may come a situation where we need to use the insurance and it benefited us. I'll be very happy and I will shut my mouth. I will eat it. But until then, no. If you're taking money from me, you're stealing from me. Based on a what if, I should say. A whole what if something should happen, at least it's here for you to use, Mr. Smith. No, it's BS to me. So anyway, that is why a lot of other companies are running around without insurance. And quite honestly, there was a period where I thought of canceling all of our insurances to see how long it would take before somebody realized. But then I realized the momentum that we have, we can't go down that road, because then you fall in a category where you're in trouble with the government, Department of State, and all this other stuff, and you could be fined. Just look at the companies upstate that just got fined $400,000 and $600,000 because they didn't have insurance and they didn't have whatever the licenses to operate in New York State. So it's something that we don't want to do, or at least that I didn't want to do, or I don't want to do now, because it'd just be like a wrecking ball. So unfortunately, we're stuck doing things the legitimate way, the way it's supposed to be done, while other people are just banking it because they're not paying workers' comp. They're not paying family disability leave. They're not paying payroll taxes. They're not paying people their paychecks. They're not paying payroll administration fees. They're not paying 401k. They're making bank. Oh, but I'm the stupid one sitting here doing things legitimate. But it is what it is. Here we are. We're still here. And I just want to tell you that about the insurance, right? When you first go to become legit, when you fill out that application, do not overestimate it. Do not overestimate it, your anticipated payroll, because they're not going to give you a refund back. If you paid for $100,000 worth of insurance and you only actually did $10,000, they're not giving you the difference back. You're the fool. That they're not even going to give you a credit. That's how they operate. Shoot it down low and tell them I said it. Shoot it down low. And then adjust as you go. So just be careful with who you choose. If you need to get started, some companies I can recommend that we've used in the past or that we currently use. Now they might say, hey, look, you're dealing, Mr. B. Mr. B is kind of a nut sometimes when he gets passionate and talking about stuff. Are you sure, you're not the same like him? You just tell him, hey, look, Mr. B is his own person. You're another person. Keep Mr. B's name out your mouth. No, don't say that to them. But anyway, any questions, get in contact with me. I'll set you straight. I'll set them straight. Right? And if it all fails with setting them straight, I'll go directly to the Department of Financial Services with the complaint and the Attorney General's office, because I don't play around with my money.